What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Timeless Adventures. Come take a look at some things that have happened in between episodes. So right here we have ourselves the Emerald slash Raid Farm, right? And this gives me about 1,500 emeralds per hour, a little under a shulker box, roughly, if I let it run for a good period of time. And I've gathered up a decent amount of emeralds. I need this for trading. You know, of course, we got ourselves a few blocks. And I'm keeping the infinity books because I get all sorts of loot. I get a bunch of loot like crossbows, enchanted books, totems of undying. All of that is garbage. I'm only in this for the emeralds and the occasional infinity book because my Iron Village, all the way at the beginning base, I overlooked needing the infinity enchantment because I figured we had fish farm at the time. So I was, I had access to infinity books, but it's nice to be able to pay for them. Just right there. I don't have to work for it or go through any hoops. So that was an oversight on my part. Live and learn. That's okay. But so I just want to be able to produce emeralds so I can trade because I have an idea for an industrial trading hall that's going to use more villagers than my iron village. And we're not going to use it as an iron golem farm because it just it causes too much lag because it does all of those checks to see if we can spawn an iron golem. And so that causes a lot of lag. So we're not going to have any conditions for iron golems to spawn in. We're purely going to have like this area that is just for villagers, and there's going to be a lot of them. We're going to section off this entire area that we only go to for the purpose of trading. That's how many villagers I want. I'm talking like at least 100, 150. Mostly, mostly librarians and farmers and the occasional cleric. I feel like I'm going the wrong way. I got distracted. I missed the turn. There we go. Okay. I should put up some signs up in the air. And make some like air highways or something to let people know where they're going. But here we are. We're back at the base, and we're actually going to take a turn because there is another farm that I put together. We're actually going to go this way, and let me show you what has happened off camera. If you haven't seen Timeless Time Lapse, take a look because I put together this beautiful, beautiful thing right here. Look at this. Anyone know what this is? This is a gold farm, a 4-portal gold and XP farm created by navynexus, of course. He did an amazing job designing and putting this thing together. This beautiful contraption, this monster of redstone. I know some of you are like, what is this? So this is one wide tileable Shulker Box Loaders. I'm not going to explain how all of this works. If you want to see this thing in action by the one and only navynexus, go ahead and take a look down below in the description. I'm going to have links to how to build, the links to his how-to videos on, putting together this entire farm right here, and then the bulk storage, as well as some of the updates to help optimize and improve the farm. So now when it comes to industrializing, because we are now entering the industrial age of our world, we have a very powerful way of repairing our tools because this produces 100,000 XP per hour, about 3,600 ingots when you are counting all of the nuggets that it produces, and then like the rotten flesh. We don't need to worry about the numbers. My main concern about this though is that because we rely on shulker boxes to store all of our items. Now, I believe this is designed, it will turn off if there's no shulker box present. It won't actually load things up, so we won't have to worry about any clog issues. But because we're using shulker boxes as our way of storing items, I will have to do some end busting. I do have a shulker box full of shulker shells. I've got like, at least 12 stacks of shulker shells. So that's about 6 stacks of shulker boxes. If we could stack shulker boxes, about 6 stacks, which is pretty good. But I probably should spend a few hours, maybe to a day, end busting at some point. Oh, oh, he identified me as his parent for a moment. But I want more shulker boxes. I want to be able to make sure that we have plenty of room for all of this amazing, amazing loot. And I got another thing to show you all. So check this out. I spent a couple hours organizing and just getting rid of the chest monster that was here and that was over there and that was like off over there to the east. Yeah, over there to the east where we first started and touched down back in the previous episode, like Welcome to the Jungle. All those chest monsters are gone. They're all in here. They're all organized. You know what? All whatever, like, this is like our earth, stone, sands, and ites, like the diorites, the clays, the terracottas, the sands, the grasses, podzels, myceliums, all that stuff. All the stones are in here, all the ores, all the food, all the empty shulker boxes, everything I need. It's all finally organized in the manual storage, and somewhere down the line we will expand this area right here to work on the industrial storage. I also off camera managed to get one of my kitties over here for protection against the creepers, because the creepers like to spawn in here. And when I'm minding my own business, just going through my storage, I get a little hit every now and then. And luckily, this is all nether material, so it is very, very durable. Just a few pieces flew off, and they didn't actually get destroyed. They just broke down into entity form. So that was an easy fix. But what we want to do today is we've already got step one of our industrialization out of the way. We needed access to XP without creating just your basic XP bank or XP farm or whatever. I would like to get a industrial level furnace super smelter array setup, and I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to do something that I haven't done before. I'm thinking, if I can align it right with my base, I want to use 4 whole chunks over in this direction, right? 4 whole chunks. Let me show you. 4 whole chunks over here. It's going to be underground, of course, so we're going to have to dig down a bit so we don't mess up the terrain up here. But we're going to have to go down about 4. It's going to be like a stairway. Stairway going down about at least between 5 to 8 blocks. I'd say, oh, we might interfere with some of that. So maybe go down about 8 blocks on the stairs, right? And then align 4 chunks up, because this what I'm gonna fuel my furnace with needs to be chunk line. So we need to set up 4 chunks and take a nap. Once our nap is complete, we can set up, I'm thinking 4. If I can squeeze a couple more in, depending on how I design it, I'm thinking 4 0-tick bamboo farms, right? So picture this. So picture here, we're on the picture there's like a line going from right here all the way out that way, right? And then we have our dividing line right here, and then another section over here. This is going to be our first chunk, right? We're going to have our bamboo smelter or bamboo farm. All the loot is going to lead this way towards the center, right? Then we hop over into this second chunk, and it's going to do the same thing. It's all going to go into the center. Now flip that around. We're going to come over here, right? We are now in this third chunk. It's going to do the same thing towards the center, and of course, you guessed it, the fourth one is going to do the same thing down to the center. Water streams are going to send this stuff into furnaces, and that way we have unlimited fuel. And I'm thinking the whole chunk, so 2 chunks on one side, that's like 32, right? So we could have maybe, because it's not going to be 32 different like rows of 0-tick bambooing, because you got to account for some of the redstone on the sides as well as the encasing, right? So let's say I can't remember the exact design, so I'm just gonna eyeball it, just wing it. Let's just say 25 on this side, right? 25 over here, 25 over there. That's about 50 furnaces going at a time. That is pretty good. We'll be able to produce a full stack, and then I'd say, oh, I don't know the math off the top of my head, but with 50 furnaces, we could do a full stack in, about a minute at the most, I think. Maybe 2 minutes, but even then, that's not the fastest, but it will work. it will work. A stack a minute. Maybe we should try to go faster. Maybe extend out by 2 more chunks and add on another 50 furnaces. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out as I go into digging. So what we have to do now, of course, is we have to hollow this out. So let's go ahead and get our shovels out. That was a figure. I was just saying shovels because we're about to dig, but most likely we're going to be using the pickaxe. Now, before we go into this, so we are also doing, this is serving a dual purpose. Not only are we emptying out this space so we can have an industrial smelter set up, but what we're also doing is we are gathering resources. We're gathering specifically stone. Well, I feel like I have a lot of stone. I actually need more stone than this. So I have probably, if I filtered through all of it, I probably have at least 5 shulker boxes of stone. Some of it I've been given Joker because he needs it for his base. But we need stone because I'm thinking I'm either going to use stone, or once we have this smelter set up, I'm going to use smooth stone because it's so beautiful. We're going to build Silent Whisperer's iron farm, and that requires, it's a quad farm design if we don't expand beyond that point, but each quadrant requires 15 stacks of building block. So we need 60 stacks minimum of smooth stone. So we're going to spend a lot of time. We're going to haul this all out, and hopefully that will be enough. So let's get to it. This is very bare bones. This is very just, it's stone, diorite, dirt. It's not good. We are going to match the interior of that. And I have plenty of basalt because we're going to use the basalt trimming. That's no problem. I need a bunch of blackstone. I'm talking this entire roof, blackstone slabs. This entire floor, blackstone slabs. Now, with exception, it's going to be just like out there, like we did in the previous episode, how I put together my base. We need to install lighting. So we're going to have like a hole here, holes everywhere. And we're going to put torches in. And we're going to put slabs over. Then we're going to put like cracked variants all throughout here, if I have enough. Same thing for the floor. And then I have this really cool trick for the wall that we're going to do for lighting. I'm going to show you once we get there. So that is the game plan for the rest of this episode, is resource gathering and building this industrial smelter. So we're going to take a trip into the nether, and well, in a matter of seconds for all of you, you're going to see a nether bastion get completely flattened from all the way down. There will be nothing left. And then you're going to see the same thing at a nether fortress. So, well, I sound excited. I am very excited because I want you all to see just what this is going to look like. But I also just know how much time is going to go into taking out both of these massive structures. But hopefully you all get a kick out of it. I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Now let's take a look at all the loot we got from that massive bust of the Nether Fortress and the bastions. So it didn't, like, the fortress was massive. I know it said I was going to take out the entire monument, but we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 more shulkers of nether brick blocks. Just nether bricks, all fully filled. No stairs, no fences, just nether brick blocks. And then you saw, you know, we have all of this black stone. So we're gonna get half the wall done, of course, and we're gonna get all of the ceiling. Half the wall because we have to dig down even further after that. So by now, of course, you know exactly what happens. We're not done with these time lapses. We've got another 1 or 2 on the way. I will try to make it brief, but you know the rules. Enjoy the music, enjoy the build, and well, here we go. And look at this, everyone. Let's get up here real quick. I'm gonna give you the full official tour. Now, we're only halfway done, but for this episode, this is as much as we're gonna get done. So this is the zero tick bamboo farm. I've just extended it out to fit an entire chunk. So we have, if you count the edges, these are on the chunk borders, the power switches, and the casing. So the bamboo is within a 14 block width, with of course the casing being on the chunk borders. And then we have all of this because this is gonna, one, transport all of our items into our smelter, but also we have a lot of storage because I don't want this to just only have bamboo or fuel. When I need it, I want to be able to fill these. I want to have these chests full. I'm going to let it run for like 20 minutes, and it should fill up to about here. It produces a lot. Oh man! Now let me tell you about this thing. I told you I was going to set something up in this chunk. This is the brain of the whole system. All of this fits into here. This is what makes everything else tick. What I did was, you may not. I don't think you saw it, but I ended up linking all of the bamboo farms. So with the flick of a switch, we can turn all of these on and of course crash my Xbox because that is a lot of entities, a lot of redstone ticks, but you can kind of see everything's feeling up and it's not too bad. I could still kind of function outside of here, but you know, we're just gonna AFK here and have that on in a moment. And you'll see, check this out. We already got this stuff filling up. And as we smelt, it's going to just keep refilling with that bamboo. But this monstrosity, some of you were probably wondering, what is this? Timeless, what are you up to now? Well, so I mentioned, you know, I want to put all of my items in here. We're going to put shulker boxes full of smeltable items. We're going to put our loose items, so anything that's not already in a shulker box. All of it's going to go in here. This is our entire input for the whole system, except for the fuel, of course. This is our main input. And then we have ourselves the non-stackable filter that you can take a look on how to put one of these together. I have it's very simple, but we have a non-stackable filter, so it's going to take out all of our shulker boxes and it's going to plug it into this item elevator. Yeah. So through that item elevator, it's the one at the very, very top. Follow that hopper line along, and it's going to go into this monstrosity up here. And this is, let's see if I can even get up here real quick. Oh man, that exercise got me hungry. Okay. So this is the Shulker Box Unloader. So the way it works, it's really genius. Let's see if I can get up here. Oh, it is an amazing design, and I think there's something that's making it go off periodically. We're gonna have to take a look at that. But this is the Shulker Box Unloader. It's fully automated, and it's got a few fail safes in here, of course. But okay, so it's going to go up the item elevator. Shulker boxes are going to go into here. And once it's in the dispenser, we have a comparator over on the other side that's going to recognize, oh, there's something inside this dispenser. Go ahead and give it a little fire. And then it will dispense the shulker box. And then we have this little circuit right here that reads the fact that it measures a signal from the shulker box. So then it triggers the falling edge monostable circuits. So then when the fallen edge occurs, it hits a few more redstone bits, and then it activates a piston. It'll break the shulker. At the same time, these two slime blocks are connected to a piston. So when the fallen edge monostable circuit activates, it will actually pull this back. It'll retract it, which will move the hoppers. And when the shulker box breaks, those two hoppers right here are going to pull back real quick, allowing that shulker box that breaks in this coordinate right here, it's going to fall into this one because this hopper is over there at that exact precise moment. Then the piston's going to protract again, sending the empty shulker box along this way into our empty shulker box output. Then on this side, while the shulker box is emptying out, all the contents go in here. And those contents are going to go all the way into our minecart loading system, which I have a tutorial for. We'll talk about this in just a moment. But all the items are going to fill up in here. This is an anti-clog system, smart chest detection. It will run all the way until it's empty. It won't clog, all that stuff. But I'll talk about that in just a moment. I am very, very happy about this setup. I did a few small tests in a creative world, and I didn't do anything large scale. None of my no main stuff yet, but we will do a final test before the end of this episode. I swear. Quick side note. Tell me what you think of this. I want to call because of these dragons here. So for those that don't know, I'll show you the redstone in the back. You just throw some. If you power the dragon head, it will start doing this little talkie thingy. So I thought it'd be really cool to have moving dragon heads and then call this like the Dragon Forge. And this is fueled by dragons. Very, very cool, I know. And I didn't realize it till after I did it, but the fire kind of makes it seem like I'm literally burning these dragons alive and using them to fuel this massive industrial smelter. But if we don't think about that aspect of this build, I think it looks really, really cool. So yeah, like I said, redstone's very simple. You just got to power the blocks. These blocks are directly touching the dragon heads. We just have this going just so this doesn't, we're using repeaters just so I don't have any dust blocking these hoppers and clogging our fuel intake. So, and then this is just connecting up all the farms, but let's get back to the other good stuff. Now let's talk about what happens if I put regular items inside that exact same input chest. So in the same chest, we'll just throw some items in. I'm not gonna actually throw any in here, but hypothetically, I could throw some stone in there, but well, I'll put some smeltable items in there, right? Shulkers are gonna filter out and go into this item hopper, right? The non-stackables are just gonna pass on through, going into that hopper right there, or that item elevator, I'm sorry. And from that item elevator right here, the shorter one, then we have these hopper line going around, and you'll notice I got a little bit of a weird curve going on. That's because this is a torch, and we don't want this to get powered. Otherwise, well, you guess it, it's going to clog. Some of this is designed to kind of have some anti-clog stuff set up. And then from there, we're going to take those items. We're going to bypass all of this so it doesn't get locked. And this is fine. This won't, if this ever turns on, if this is locking the minecart loader, which we'll explain in just a moment, this will never interfere with the hopper, so we're good with that. But the items are going to go into here, into a chest, because this is the converging point. So I accidentally built this one block lower than I did in the creative world, and it was supposed to be one block higher to kind of accommodate an additional chest, but that's okay. It will still work. We can do it from here. Items are going to go from that item elevator all the way into this converging point. This is going to prevent clogging because we get items from here and we get items from here. We have the two hoppers pulling from the chest to kind of pull at a quicker rate to help reduce the clogging even more. I'm just going all the way down. There's so many levels, and this is such a crazy, crazy little build. We're going to get temporary little, trying to get some color up here real quick. Okay. Then the items are going to go into the minecart loader. Very, very great design, and we already had this thing going all along its way. Now, if you want to know how to build this, then of course I have a tutorial and you can take a look at it. I just recently released it, so it's very fresh, and nothing has changed that I could think of. Nothing's everything still works perfectly as it is. Now, with this clog system, anti-clog system set up, the way it works is if this ever gets too full, then it's going to activate our monostable circuit, and it's going to do two things actually. So when it gets too full, monostable circuit rising edge activates, repowering our powered rail, because once it clogs, it stays off and it has nowhere to go. So when it gets a little too full, it's going to send a signal out to send it back on its way to empty its contents. Then it's also going to activate our reset switch over here. It's going to lock the hopper, preventing any more items from filling up, allowing our minecart chest to empty what's in here, go back on its way. This allows this system to reset, and it just repeats the process until it is empty. Now, what I wanted to do as well, I added this in. So if that minecart chest still has any amount of items in here, we got a little detector rail that triggers the powered rail over here to keep it on. So it'll keep going until it is completely empty. It will not come back and reload until it is completely drained of all of the stock. All right, we are letting this thing fuel up real quick. We're going to do one grand demonstration of this. If my frames don't destroy everything, we're going to do one grand demonstration of this as our finale for this episode. But we got to end this one epically. So we got this all loaded up. And I think it's been, let's take a look in here real quick. 64, but is anything else filling up? It should be. Those dragons are busy at work, munching up all of that bamboo and distributing their body into to fuel the furnace. All right, everything's going good. Frames are a little bad, but that's okay. We're gonna toss one of these in here. We're gonna toss some of this. We're gonna toss some of this. Okay. Items should be going through, and we're gonna see these turn on in just a moment. There we go. Okay, that means the hopper is loading up with items. We take a look at the shulker. Yes, good. That's loading up. All the items are going through. Shulkers have gone through as well, or they're about to once this is done pumping out items. We can see the shulker is right there. This is fueling up. So now, while this is fueling up, this is actually going to take a moment. So what I'm going to do is we're going to skip ahead to when this actually launches off. Nah, I'm just kidding. What we're going to do actually is I'm going to take a bunch of items from here. We're going to just fill up that chest right about now. And then, so the rest of these can go into the input chest. All right, so stone. Okay, here it comes. Magic is about to happen. That hopper is going to start overflowing, and off it goes. Here we go. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. The dragon loves the yum yums. Oh, what do we have? I think we had some wrong items in here. Oh, this isn't getting any fuel. Okay, we're going to have to do a little troubleshooting. But, I mean, that's still what? 14, that's 13, 12, and 13. So 26, 38, right? 38 furnaces on the first go. So, oh man. Okay, so now we are smelting industrial levels of items. Now, it's not the fastest smelter out there, but it is something that I thought might be kind of cool to put together, and it was very exhausting, but it was actually very fun, and that's actually not that bad. We're getting a stack every roughly every minute, less than a minute, so that's not too bad. And we also have, so half of this, you probably saw in the time lapse, half of these hoppers are going this way, this other half is going that way. So we actually have some over in this chest. So we are getting about 2 stacks per minute, probably a little less than that. I'd say other than this little issue right here, I'd say that was pretty successful, everyone. Now, we still have to do this entire side back here, and I have a plan for this. I ended up gouging out just a whole nother chunk. We're going to do another 0 tick, ran independently, of course, and I thought it would be kind of cool to try out a XP bank. So we're going to have another furnace array. We're going to smelt a bunch of things, and up above, actually, we're going to run a 0 tick kelp farm, just like right inside the same chunk. It's going to flow down into some hoppers and fill up the furnace, and then we have the bamboo in this level filling up the furnaces for the fuel, and then we just have our little levers across. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I've never done one before, and I think it would actually be quite interesting to do. But that is all the time that we have for today, everyone. Thank you all again so much for watching. I am Timeless Traveler, and this was Timeless Adventures. I hope you enjoyed the time lapse. I tried something a little different, and something different than what I have done previously. I was not expecting this time lapse to last as long as it did. So yeah, thank you for sticking around and watching all of this to its entirety. If you stuck around, let me know what you thought of having mostly a time lapse for this episode. It was a lot of work to empty out all of this, and a lot of it was done off camera too, of course, because I had to plan and test out a bunch of different things and like practice the room design and all that. But I think it turned out pretty good. And we're gonna clean this up in between episodes. You won't see the cleanup, and you won't see me build this in the next episodes or anything. We are gonna work on the XP bank, I think. But next time you come back, you're gonna see this is all gonna be nice and tidy. It's gonna blend in real well with the rest of the room. It's gonna look really good. So again, thank you all for watching, and well, ow. Thank you all again for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.